Ladies and gentlemen of the reptile hobby, I'm Galen Tom and you're watching a python pit. And this is Phoenix, my bird. So if you hear noise, unfortunately he's the one making it. So ironically, my introduction, this is actually not going to be about any pythons and snakes for that matter, because let me give you a review of what's been happening since it's been a while since my last vlog. A few weeks ago, my wife and kid decided to go out and do Father's Day shopping a hell of a lot early because they'll be in Mexico for better part of June and into the mid-July. So what that meant is they asked me, what do I want? So great, something I actually get to choose and nobody gets to say anything else. So what I chose was a Pleco because I have this 15-gallon frugal tank. So I went down to Exotic Aquarium in South San Francisco and got this golden nugget Pleco. In addition, my wife said, well, choose something else. So I decided what would be cool to be in there with the Oscar that I am fostering or rescued. Well, I thought an eel, you know, they're kind of like snake-ish and stuff. So I decided to get this eel here. As you can see the name, I couldn't even pronounce it, and I don't even know what kind of eel that is. Oscar tried to see what's up with it, and he lost that battle. I had to separate the eel in the only Psycho Aquarium I had, which was a 2.6 frugal. I know it's real small, but for the time being, that's all I had. Right after that, I had to go to Infocom in Las Vegas for my work. So I go out, and it's only about 4 days in the middle of the week, Tuesday, and I came back on Saturday afternoon. And what ended up happening is my wife has been taking care of the new fish and everything in general. So come Saturday afternoon, I'm wondering where my Pleco is, and I see a bunch of my golden rabbit snails herded around this group area. Turns out they stripped the Pleco of all recognizable flesh. I mean, all it is a hunk of bone. Even if I returned it, you couldn't even tell it was a Pleco. So I was out that Pleco. Oscar had icked after getting beat up by the fight he picked that he couldn't win. So I had to cure him of that. So right the next day after I got back for Infocom, that Saturday afternoon, the following day on Sunday, my wife and kid leaves for Mexico. And as you can see, they're having a great time with their family and fun in the sun at this beach town excursion they just recently got back from. I decided to focus more on the eel. And so what I did, I looked around on Craigslist and I found this True View 35-gallon hexagon aquarium. As you can see, it's a 35-gallon. I had to get a metal stand, aquarium stand for it. So I did that right here. Picked up some mahogany wood. So I'm gonna put these two together. I'm gonna drill it into using screws, wood to metal. Of course, you got to pre-drill this. This is really hard wood, and that'll be on top of it. So even though this is a 21 by 21 by 23. What will happen is it's going to have this lip here, and this is acrylic, so you have to support the whole bottom. With the 2 blocks of mahogany wood, that will definitely support it because it would be a little bit lip. It's mahogany, so it'll look great, so hopefully my wife won't throw a fit. And I got this mat from Walmart, which normally you use for your kitchen and stuff so you don't slip. But it's thick enough where it's not too thick, but also it'll help just in case those 2 seams don't really line up totally good on that. Now, also got some driftwood. I started shopping for driftwood. My plan is I move this plant here so it kind of looks a little nice in the house. So it doesn't look so cluttered like there's this big aquarium, but it is the centerpiece. So I've been combing Home Depot and all those other places to figure out what I want to do with this space. It's most likely going to be plants. I got to win my wife over on this because once I get this done, she's not going to be back for another 2 weeks. Actually, plus 2 weeks. 2 weeks and some days. I'm not going to be moving this stuff. The only thing I'm missing on this thing is the filter, which is going to come in Monday, so it's cool. I just got I got the 150 watt the Marina. That's pretty much what my go-to heater, and a couple other extra stuff. I was going to use this other foam, which is for lining for your cabinets, but as you can see, it's a little too thin, so I'll be returning that to Home Depot. I had to get rid of Oscar. He was a rescue. He was rescued from Walmart. It was time for him to go. I told him, you're 18 now, you can't stay in my house, but you could definitely take a bag of groceries with you. So I donated him to my friends at Petco. They'll make sure he gets a great house or home. And so I redesigned this whole thing. So I want to do a nano tank. I fell in love with this Pleco because the other one got eaten up. This guy may not. The other one was a lot smaller, probably a quarter of his size. This is a Royal Pleco. Don't ask how much I paid. I paid a lot for him, but well worth it. It was definitely under $100 bucks, let's just say that. When I picked this guy up, I also picked up a bunch of sparkling grammies. I was going to do Emperor Tetras, but I'm kind of cursed with them. I did sparkling grammies back in the late 90s. This guy is supposed to go in a 35 gallon with the eel. He seems very contented in here. I mean, as hard as this is a 15, yes, I know it's a little too small. He's not going to get much bigger than this because he's the Royal Pleco. But he likes the little guys hovering around him, using him as protection, especially these guys. I put this driftwood after soaking out all the tannins, and they started making a home, and this little jerk, being a leviathan that he is of this tank, decided to move it, and they just deal with it. So it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, but it's almost like I may have to consider leaving this tank since the inhabitants right now are really fond of him, and he seems really happy in here. So we'll see. This first owner modified this in the back. I mean, these things go for $433 brand new on Amazon, I saw. But I got this for 40 bucks on Craigslist, which is cool. I'm putting it eel, so I didn't mind this being sealed off. The only problem, I have a challenge. I only have a, I think it's a 5x16, 5x15 opening. So any driftwood ornaments or anything I'm putting in here has to whatever, you know what I mean. Has to go with that. You know, the specs have to fit this area. So other than that, it's going to be cool. The filter I'm waiting for is a U3 Frugal internal filter. You know, those things are like 73 bucks or something at my local pet club. I think Aquarium Depot in North Sacramento, if you go to Citrus Heights area, they have them there for $49.99. I actually saw them as low as $27.50 if you buy them on eBay from people who got it, didn't need it. Unfortunately, by the time I had money, those were all gone. So I still buy it for about 36 bucks. Not bad, free shipping. After sanding it down and measuring it up, looks pretty good. The seams here may just be perfect to where I don't have to use this big thick rubber that I bought, not rubber, big foam that I bought from Walmart for 10 bucks. So I could return that and just use this $4 version at Home Depot. Just enough to make these seams seem a little seamless, but I guesstimate it's going to be 600 pounds fully loaded with 40 to 50 pounds of sand, water, and driftwood. It's pretty much even if I put my weight down on this. I mean, yeah, if I push it together hard enough, and I'm going to drill these in, yeah, some of my skin goes in there, but you know, this is acrylic, so I think I'll be fine with just using this just as an added precaution, because my 15-gallon Flex, Frugal Flex, and actually the 9-gallon Frugal Flex do come with these mats to make sure things are evened out a little bit on the bottom. So yeah, I think it's going to work. So I'm going to measure out, pre-drill holes, and get going. So as you can see, after sanding and drilling these holes, the aquarium is perfectly supported. So notwithstanding my cutting skills, I got the mat in, and I think that's going to work better. The one I got at Home Depot for like 4 bucks, it has the same consistency as the Frugal Flex. It's definitely doing this job right at the edges. Not that this is, you know, there's a little bit of unevenness, not really, really bad, but like I said, this whole thing is supported. I probably could have got away with it just not having it, but as an extra security measure, I did that, just like with the drilling of the screws, because I have a 6-year-old daughter who may bump into this, and while this is estimated at 600 pounds, that also might mean if she hits it hard enough, it might slide in. Well, that's a disaster and stuff. Okay, so after a little bit wiping down, we got the sand in there, so I guess nothing's more needed than water, right? So I did rinse it, and you can see it's still pretty cloudy. Okay, I filled it with water. So far, so good. Doesn't look like any leaks. Notwithstanding my near misses of that little gap, this is not actually a leak. It's just went on the back of the wall. Same with this. But it is drying up, so I do not believe there's any leaks. But we'll let it, as you can see, it's receding right now, the wetness, because it started right here. Good thing I'm using mahogany and not particle board or anything else that will just bloat when that. So it is clearing up. Obviously, I'm using sand, so it's going to take some time for it to clear up. You know, somebody commented to me earlier, not online, but that there were scratches. But as you can see, the scratches are not really, let me focus here. The scratches are not really noticeable. I'm pretty sure when this clears up, it may be. But come on, guys, for 40 bucks, for a true view acrylic, that's pretty nice. I mean, even with a few scratches. I know you can buff it out, but everything I see in using to buff out acrylic or plexiglass, as I like to call it, doesn't seem really fish friendly unless you really seriously rinse it out, which I'm like, I don't want to take the risk. I mean, why bother? It holds water, right? I mean, we're testing it right now. I'll test it. I'll probably mark it here with some painter's tape. And as long as it holds water, there's no real eyesore of a scratch, I'm cool with that. So coming back, I can see that there's no leaks. And with a stroke of luck, I got a package, and guess what? The filter came in early. So 36 bucks for this, with shipping included, where it was originally marked at $78.99. Yeah, definitely a good deal. So let's get this hooked up and flowing, so that way we can get this stuff ready to cycle. And I'm also start getting the heater going as well. So Houston, we have a problem. We do have a leak right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but let me see my best. It's starting to bead already, and it's right there, right about here. So yeah, just have to drain it. Kind of worried because in the front, looks like there's sand that got through or something. Oh, man, talk about all this hard work. So yeah, took all the sand out, drained the aquarium. I need to clean it even more, make sure I get all the sand out, take a toothbrush to it, and start the repair.